Hello everybody, wanted to go through some of my latest CED and LaserDisc pickups, quite a few to go through here, and quite a variety. I do only have one CED though, I haven't run into too many. I found a handful at a used record store, and most of them were either things I already had or things I wasn't interested in at all, but I did grab one because they had them on sale for 50 cents. I think they were just kind of trying to get rid of them. But a lot of them, yeah, they were stuff I just wasn't interested in. A lot of them are in rough shape. But this was pretty good shape. So we got Hitchcock's Spellbound. I was happy to grab that. Can't go wrong for 50 cents. And I have a few imports that I got from Japan, and they'll be kind of in these different categories here because they are very different films. I have first one here is A White Wedding, which stars Vanessa Paradis, who is a French singer and actress who's very well known for the song Jo Le Taxi, which I will put in the description, a link to a performance of that of some sort. And here we go. And this does not have a US release, so to get it in NTSC you have to import it from Japan. Very happy to grab that in fantastic shape. And another French film, my first in the Cinema Disc collection, those blue spine ones here of US releases of foreign films. There are quite a few that are pretty interesting in that collection that I've been looking out for, but this is the first one I've run into, Love Without Pity, another French film here. This I watched, this I'd actually never even heard of before. I watched it and it was very enjoyable. One of the other imports from Japan, this is an anime series that I remember watching as it came out, some of the individual DVD volumes. We have the whole collection on DVD now. Amanda's watched a good portion of that with me, and I enjoyed it enough that I actually bought and played the PS2 game fairly close to the launch of the PlayStation 2, and I think it's actually a pretty fun, actually a little underappreciated game that's pretty decent. But this is the first 2 episodes I was able to import of Orphan on LaserDisc. And man, this looks fantastic. Animation in general looks really good on LaserDisc, and this is a really nice release. This actually looks a lot better than my DVD box set. It really looks fantastic. So I was very happy to grab that. It is only 2 episodes. Back in the day, if you're old enough to remember, collecting things like anime was just crazy. You would spend $15, $20 on a VHS tape or something, or maybe even more than that for a LaserDisc, and it'd be 2 episodes. Really was crazy compared to today. A bunch of other ones here. Down to Earth with Rita Hayworth. Chronos, which this has been released multiple times on many different formats. I think it's even on HD DVD. But this is a very fascinating experience, going through a lot of amazing locations all throughout the world with some fantastic music. It was a 40-minute presentation that was originally filmed in 70mm and was an IMAX presentation at one point. It's really pretty cool to go through. I like things like this, and I have a couple of different discs and different formats going through national parks and things like that. On LaserDisc, got a few of those too. I really enjoy those kind of things. And I will link the video to one of the first LaserDisc videos I ever did, was talking about, after I got this huge collection, I also was able to pick up the giant Fantasia box set, and I'll definitely link that at the end of the video here. Check that out, it's fantastic. But I was able to grab just the standalone of Fantasia because this was mixed in with a bunch of vinyl records. It was mixed in with the records at a Goodwill and was about $2, so if I find a LaserDisc in Goodwill for about $2, I'm almost always going to grab it unless it looks destroyed. Another one that is very common on LaserDisc, but a movie I did not have in that format, I was able to find it pretty cheap, so I was happy to grab it. Mel Gibson's Braveheart seems to be one that everyone has at least one copy of in their collection. It's a very common title to find on LaserDisc. I think 95 coming out, it was during the peak of LaserDisc collecting, I really feel like. So I feel like this was just very common to find, but it was a really cool release, and I only had this on DVD before, so it's cool to have a giant gatefold. Fun release there, and this one I'm going to have to add some pictures at the end too for a closer look because it's a big box set here. I'll go through it, take it out of the wrappings here. I have a lot of Jackie Chan on LaserDisc. I actually had a two-part video going through a giant box of LaserDiscs I got from Japan, and the one part was entirely just Jackie Chan discs. They have like a half a shelf of it is just Jackie Chan on LaserDisc. One release series that I've been looking forward to slowly piecing together is the Selected Masterpieces of Jackie Chan. There are 4 box sets going over pretty much the core classics. There are a bunch of other great films that are included, obviously, but really the core classics of, if you want to introduce someone to Jackie Chan, these are the ones that you find, one box that is pretty much just police story movies, and you have one that has Drunken Master 2 and a bunch of others. It's really great selections in these 4 box sets. Did not have any of those yet. Now I have Volume 2. So this is, I'll take this out here and show the individual discs, and then again I'll put some pictures at the end to give a better look. But one of the many Jackie Chan films that, depending on your region and when it's released, the title is going to change, but for this release we have Project Eagle. It's Operation Condor 2, and I've actually seen it released as Operation Condor just 1, and it gets confusing, even though there's a couple movies that I've seen, depending on where it's released, where they'll flip 1 and 2 depending on where it's released, so depending where you are, it'll have all kinds of different names, or Armor of God, lots of different names for Project Eagle in this release. One that I feel is the most underrated Jackie Chan film. It is fantastic, but I know it really was seen as an oddity when it first came out. It didn't do as well as he had hoped, but one that was directed by Jackie Chan, I think as far as his directing, it's some of his best work. It's not my favorite film of his overall. He's directed personally, but I think it's some of his best directing, just that in general, and something that feels very different in many ways, but Miracle. I love this movie, and Anita Moy is great in it. The music's fantastic. It's just a fun film that's done so well. And I really think it doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. I think it should be considered with things like Police Story 1 and 2. I think it should be up there with a lot of those films, Wheels on Meals. Just there's so much of Jackie Chan that is great from the 80s into the early 90s that I think this is really looked over many times. Fantastic movie. It's also released in the US. You're more likely to see it as Black Dragon. Strangely, I think it's the worst of its many titles. It's also The Canton Godfather, Mr. Canton and Lady Rose, many different titles for that one. One that I now have 2 copies of on LaserDiscs. I have the individual release. It's a different release than this one though, but it is Wheels on Meals, which is often released as Spartan X in Japan, and I have a black cover release that does just say Spartan X on it, and then this is a different Toa release with the Spartan X is small up there for the Japanese release, and the original title's down here. So, and this one is the English dub version, which is by far the most common to find. I did import a Blu-ray eventually that did have the Cantonese track on it, because that seems to be the harder version to find of the film. But on LaserDisc, I have 2 copies of the English one here, and then a slightly older Jackie Chan one, The Young Master. Which, if you've not seen this one and you enjoy a lot of the Jackie Chan films, like the first Drunken Master and ones from that era, this is one you should check out. So a gorgeous box set of Jackie Chan, and I actually have another box of LaserDisc coming from Japan at the time of filming this. It's about a week away or so. That is cool enough that it's going to have its own video eventually, so look out for that. And yeah, for now, that is what I've been able to pick up in the past 4 months or so on LaserDisc and CED. And look out, we're going to have a bunch more pickups videos here in the coming weeks, a lot of movies and toys and things. It's been so long since we've really done a lot of pickups videos. I've done just sort of some individual things I found at yard sales, some overall, like this is what I found today kind of videos, but we haven't done, I don't think we've done really since we moved from the old place, a real true, like this is what we've been recording down as our pickups on our little notebook for the past months and months and months. So there's going to be a lot of videos like that coming soon, and I hope you will stop by and check them all out.